Hey there, Keri Runs 100 Miles fans. I'm a little behind. I haven't done a Monday Confessions in like a couple weeks. Last week was week 6, or 2 weeks ago was week 6. Last week was week 7, so this week I'm in week 8. It has been a weird couple of weeks. In some ways good, in some ways bad. So week before last would have been week 6. I happened that week to be singing and doing some other stuff at a women's conference at my church, and we had rehearsals every night for 2 to 3 hours. Then I had things to do all that Friday, and then we had conference Friday night and Saturday morning. And I just honestly made the choice to switch up a little bit and make that a recovery week, and then I still wasn't able to get in the miles. Even for a recovery week, I was supposed to do 26 miles, and I did like 6. Literally, I ran like 2 times. There was more going on that week, which we'll go over here in just a second. So last week was week 7. I was supposed to do 56 miles. But it was the week of a big event that I put on at my daughter's school. And she's a 4th grader, so it's her last carnival. So it's a fall carnival that I've done. This was year 9. And so this was, I believe, if I mathed it right, like my 13th carnival. And so I just really wanted to make sure that it went really good, that I had everything done. And so I spent a lot of time doing that. I got 2 runs in last week. They were a 7 and an 8. So they were, and they're both on the trail, which is good because I'm slowly trying to incorporate that back in. So I got in 15 miles, however, was supposed to do 56. So all that to say, has not been stellar training weeks. Some of it has been by choice, just to, like week 6, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do everything I needed to do and give as much energy and as much focus and as much of me as I needed to this women's conference if I was out running 3 to 5 hours a day, then rehearsing 2 to 3 nights a week for 4 nights. By the time Friday came, I was just really worried that I wouldn't be able to do what I needed to do at that conference because I would be so just exhausted. So, because I was there for a few hours that morning, then had to go home, get kids, all that kind of stuff. And then at my call time, I had to be back at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was there till like 10 or 10:30 on that Friday night. That had to turn on and be back at like 7 a.m. the next morning, and I was there till like 2:30 or 3. So it was a big deal. It was an amazing time. It was an amazing time to use my talents, to see just these great things happen for people, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful time. And so I feel like it was absolutely, no doubt in my mind, it was worth sacrificing my training for. Also, just been going through some, just some relational things, and it was one of those I never realized how much emotions played into this whole idea of wanting to just do this cool thing, and how much it would maybe hold me back when my emotions were more in charge. I know that kind of sounds weird and kind of covert. Just my husband and I were going through some things. You know, they always say like year 7 is hard. You get that 7-year itch, and it wasn't for us, but we've been married 17 years, and it just feels like we're just having some ups and some downs. Nothing drastic, nothing that's marriage ending, but just, you know, just busy, and just honestly just a lack of communication has happened a lot, and it's just led to some hurt feelings. And we were going through one of those seasons that week of that conference, and even kind of after that conference ended for a few days. And so it very much became this really just emotional weight that was going on, and I didn't know which way to go. I just felt very emotionally weighed down and emotionally trapped. Not that he's not that kind of guy. He's not like emotionally trapping me, but it was kind of something like we didn't have time to talk, and then we wouldn't talk, and then it became awkward. Well, when are we going to talk? Who's going to break the ice first? And it was just a really hard week in our marriage, and then add that to the fact that I was rehearsing every night, and I had this and I had that, and Then, the daughter had a soccer game that we had to drive to, and, just this whole long thing of just kind of a poo storm of just emotions and busyness. And it kind of just weighed me down, and it mentally made me physically tired. And not that even that I didn't want to run, I didn't feel like I could. Like, I felt just kind of trapped in my own head. And so that's kind of just been the last couple of weeks. My husband and I are in a better place because, hey, we communicated, we talked, we said, hey, this is what I was feeling when you did this. It made me feel like this. Well, that's not what I meant. Okay, well, what did you mean? And it was a necessary thing. And so, but it was a hard thing. I mean, those conversations are never easy, but for the sake of our marriage and for the sake of kind of just our life as people, we had to figure out what was causing us to kind of build those walls, separating us from each other. So it kind of kept me mentally hostage for a couple of weeks. And so, like I said, I got a few runs in, but literally have only ran like 15 miles the 2 weeks before during week 6 and 7 of training, which again, not great, but I would rather have these moments happen now, in the beginning of training. It's kind of weird. Like I knew that it would be a lot, but I never really did the math of how much time it takes, and I'm still at the beginning stages. So just figuring out, I mean, it's basically a part-time job right now, just trying to get the amount of miles in, especially because I'm substantially slower than a lot of people when it comes to, especially on the trail. And so, and we're getting into winter, it's been raining, it's been cold, so trying to just figure out all that. And just getting out the door sometimes is really hard because it's a little rainy, it's butt cold. I got my trail shoes on and they are super muddy because I was out earlier. And it's starting to get dark at like 6:30, so trying to figure out, okay, how can I do all of this? It's hard. I'm just keeping it real. I'm like, yes, I want to do this big thing, and I knew there would be hard times, but just figuring out how to balance life and try to balance being a mom and and a wife, and and I work and this and that and this and that, and but still kind of hold on to dreams that I really feel like God's put in my heart, and He's given me the ability to do. But just trying not to let myself get weighed down by feeling like I'm failing in one area because I'm choosing to focus on another. And that could just be this emotions that we've been going through. I'm not going to hopefully cry and make my mascara go down my face. But I always said I would be honest with you guys, and that, I knew there would be hard times. And what I want you to know is that yeah, there's going to be hard times in life. There's going to be hard times in running or starting that business or whatever it is. I mean, and we just have to make the choice of what we do with those hard times, whether we let them break us or whether we sit in them for a moment. No one says that you have to have a hard time and be like, no, I'm going to power through. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. It's okay just to wallow for a few minutes and have that time of, crap, this isn't going right, and maybe some tears and maybe just some anger or whatever emotion you need to go through. But the goal is not to live there. I mean, I could have said, you know what, screw the fact that I've paid $300 for this race, I've thrown it out there, and people are going to see me as a failure because I'm already just feeling overwhelmed and inadequate and just whatever words you can think of for just, there's no way in hell I'm going to get this run done or even survive the training. And I lived in that for a little bit. And that's just the God's honest truth, which in some ways I feel so stupid saying, considering I'm only on week 8 and there's a lot more weeks to go. There's 38 weeks to go. But and part of this is my own doing because I did kind of jump the shark. Most people do the baby steps. They go, 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, and they do a bunch of halves and a bunch of fulls, and they're like, oh, maybe I should do an ultra, and then they jump to the ultra, and then they do the 50K, the 50 mile, the 100K, and they're like, okay, I've done all these, I have my base, let's do 100. And I kind of, like I said, jumped the shark, and it's like, all right, I've done 2 full marathons, let's do 100. And so I know, because I chose to do it this way, that it is making things harder in general. And so I realize in some ways my stress and my feelings of inadequacy and all that kind of stuff are kind of my own bleepity bleeping fault. But I just have to hold to the fact that, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to do what's best for me, what's best for my family, figure out what that means, what that looks like, and just do it. I mean, it's raining, y'all. It is currently October 30th, and it has not gotten above 40 degrees today. So what the heck happened to fall? Hello, Mother Nature. That would be awesome if you could let me know, because fall is my favorite. But I feel like we've gone straight to winter. Tomorrow is Halloween, and they're talking snow. I live in Arkansas, y'all. This should not be happening. I should not be talking snow in October. That's just stupid. Anyway, it was an excuse to go out and buy a new vest and a couple of new running stuff, but excuse to shop at Kohl's, whatever. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but I just wanted to be honest with you guys. The last 2 weeks have been not physically demanding, but just outside of running demanding and emotionally demanding, which kind of leads to mental and spiritual demanding, and all that just kind of is a weight. And so, you know, some people are like, oh, when I feel cruddy, I go for a run. When I feel cruddy, it just adds to this feeling of inadequacy that I have, that I'm not a runner, that I'm not capable, and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely, it's been a couple rough weeks, but I've confessed it all. I've told you I haven't run like I'm supposed to. I did get my hair redone though, so it's very pink right now. But I'm also telling you that a couple of crappy weeks in the span of 46 weeks training isn't going to stop me. I'm going to keep going. I'm probably going to have some more bad weeks. I'm probably going to have some more busy weeks, and I just have to be okay with not being perfect and just do the best I can, and know that when I am doing it, when I am able to, you know, get in every single run I'm supposed to do, that I'm doing it to the best of my ability, that I'm giving it everything I have, that I'm running smart, because like I said, it's raining. I can't be running like sprints up hills when there's rocks. I'm not going to risk injury for that. And so just being smart, being thoughtful, and just persevering through the crappy times. So I'm going to keep doing that. I hope you will too, with whatever storms you might be going through, whatever emotional or relational or spiritual or physical or mental, whatever might have kept you down for the last couple weeks. I hope that maybe you catch a little bit of inspiration from this video, that we can keep persevering, that 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes, whatever it is that has you down, doesn't have to change your life. If anything, it can catapult you into a sense of self-awareness and a sense of pride and a sense of just, girl, keep going, boy, keep going, that maybe you didn't realize you had, but you just have to try. So let's keep trying. That's all we can do. So I'm gonna go finish dinner. I'm gonna take my son to work, and I'm gonna go run. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.